A school in Fort Lauderdale, Florida is in a bunch of hot water after a teacher reportedly banned one of her students from reading the Bible during free reading time. She actually called the parents' phone at home and left a message, and we've got some audio.
Good morning, Mr. Rubio, Mrs. Thomas. Giovanni called you because I asked him to. I noticed that he has a book, a religious book, in the classroom. He's not permitted to read those books in my classroom. He said, if I told him to put it away, you said not to do that. So please give me a call. I need to have some understanding on direction to him about the book he's reading as opposed to the curriculum for public school. Mrs. F. Thomas, thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Okay, so this brings up a lot of interesting things, obviously about freedom of religion, and this was free reading time at the school, which implies that the kids can read anything that they want to read. Now, I know you guys aren't huge on religion, so I thought this would be an interesting topic for you guys to handle. What do you make of this teacher? It wasn't a school-wide thing, apparently, but this teacher felt that this kid could not read the Bible in class. Is that okay?
No, I don't think that's okay. I mean, I'm normally very against having religion in schools, but that's having the school push religion on the kids. In this case, the kid just was an individual who wanted to bring the book to school and read it, and it's a personal choice, and I don't think that that should be handled the way that they did, you know?
Cara, personal choice?
Well, I mean, yeah, the First Amendment protects my right to not read the Bible the same way it protects this child's right to read the Bible. This is a blatant violation of the Constitution, and there's, there's action being taken now. There are lawyers that are working with the student's family, and this could potentially be pushed up through the court system. So I'm not sure if this teacher is aware of the fact that she's violating the Constitution by telling this child that he can't read this book in her classroom, and maybe that'll be corrected as soon as she kind of reads the Constitution.
I mean, it's not like that kid reading the Bible is going to influence the other kids around them. You know, it's not being forced on anybody.
But even if it did influence the other kids around him, it doesn't matter, because the truth is that is a choice that the law of the land protects. So this wasn't something that was, like you said, part of the curriculum. This isn't something that the teacher was pushing onto the students. But yes, you have every right to read whatever religious text you want to read in a public place, in a private place, whatever. It'd be one thing if he was reading this book when he was supposed to be reading Tom Sawyer and making a big stink about it, but in free reading class, to tell a student that he has to take his Bible out of the classroom, his Quran out of the classroom, his Torah out of the classroom, whatever, it's a violation of the First Amendment.
Yeah. Well, I feel like carrying around a Quran or a Torah, I feel like it's a bigger book.
It's a big
book.
Like,
I feel like that's a huge thing.
Well, I think you're used to seeing it kind of in these religious there are giant Bibles too, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't there like an ark and you have to have like 5 people pushing it and everything?
Kids' Bibles and stuff too.
Kids' Bibles are much smaller.
You've also got the app.
Oh, there's the app.
There's like a million of those like stupid Bible apps.
All right, you're right. It's not about the size of the book. Should we be a little afraid of, so we're blaming this on the teacher, not the school itself, so that's one thing. But should we be a little afraid of these people that are pushing the anti-religion thing, even if you're not for religion in the public sphere, that they're pushing it to this extent, like that she called and she said, you know, this isn't going to happen in my class, that there's a danger really in her methodology of how she's trying to preach liberalism or something.
Absolutely. I mean, there's as much of a danger there as there is pushing religion on kids. You don't want to make up their mind for them. It should be up to the child, as we were saying before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if a child can really make those kinds of decisions. I mean, that's another debate entirely. But aside from that, I think we need more context. Like, is she preaching anti-religion, or is she so afraid of First Amendment violations and afraid of all the things that she's seen in the news lately that she thought that this was the right course of action? Like, oh no, I don't want a Bible in my classroom because I could get in trouble for that. Yeah. Maybe, like, that's the thing, is that when you become very extreme on one side or the other of the issue, I think, and because it's such a polarized issue, it's such a political kind of hot button issue, I think that there's confusion surrounding it. And this, again, we don't have context. It could be that this woman was trying to push a specific agenda. It could be that she was afraid of the opposite agenda being, seeming like it's being pushed in her classroom. So I think with a little more context, we would understand this a little better, but until then, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, where do you guys fall in terms of where the debate should be on this, because there is some, it seems to me you could teach in a history class, you could teach about the historical existence of Jesus and what was going on in that time without giving a religious context to it. But once you start doing that, then you open up a can of worms where everyone wants to bring all the miracles and all that stuff in it. So where do you fall in terms of what we can teach without teaching myth, so to
technically,
speak?
there's no viable evidence that Jesus actually existed.
Oh,
there are stories.
You know, Cara, Bill O'Reilly wrote a book about the historical. Yeah,
That makes
go.
it true.
Yeah, please take it away.
There's stories. There's corroborating like tales and myths and maybe non-myths. We don't know, but there's no actual evidence that there was a historical figure named Jesus. The way that there's evidence of historical figures who wrote things, or where we have their bones someplace, like that doesn't exist for Jesus Christ. So and I'm not saying I don't think Jesus Christ existed. I have no fucking idea, but I don't think that
You want empirical evidence.
I want empirical
as a
evidence, and there's
scientist.
absolutely nothing wrong with talking about the history of religion or the history of philosophy in those types of courses. I don't know if like Jesus's existence should be taught in a history class,
Right.
because I don't think we should be
No.
making.
I mean, the
So
English
is that the distinction, that it should be taught? If you
Yeah.
were going to teach it in high school, for example, it shouldn't be taught in social studies, but it could be taught in a philosophy class.
Yeah.
Well,
or
there's
humanities
philosophy,
or
there's
something.
electives. You can
Yeah.
choose to take religion. You can have Bible study classes outside of the high school. I mean, but you can't just sit there and say that I know Jesus was historical, so I'm going to teach it. But you can teach the effects that religion had on history. I mean, it's important, and you can't really avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be part of your history class regardless if you're learning about kind of American history or if you're learning about world history. Like, you can't avoid a conversation about religion. But I think religion as an institution and its sociological effects is a very different conversation than the lore and the dogma within a religion being taught as fact. Like that's where I start to
So
have
the
a
church
problem with
actually
it.
existing and having political, machinations and things like that, that's real. The walk on water stuff,
Yeah.
maybe not so real. We're
I
all
wouldn't
agreed?
teach that part in my history class.
you
It's
wouldn't teach-
definitely nowhere near science.
All right, there you go. I think we summed that one up pretty well.